customer base is already saturated, so
Yeah, so
they
that
may
is the
not.
problem now. They will encourage you to come. So when you come, if they have the numbers, they start changing.
Exactly. It's everywhere.
Yes, this is the problem with the
It's
regulation.
everywhere. It's
So
even
I
human
think
nature.
the central bank have a role to play in it.
Exactly, 100%. The central bank has a very big role to
Role.
play as to how he can regulate them so that they can all be conform to the same regulation being used by the other banks. So I think I agree with you there. All
Exactly.
right. Thank you. All right. Any more question? I love how the class is going. Yes, I could see a hand. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Mr. Smith.
Hello, sir.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, sir. My question is, looking at the rationales behind the financial regulation, is there any way that overregulation can affect innovation in the financial sector?
Several ways. In fact, overregulations everywhere can affect innovation when people are being put under strict instructions. It restricts them from operating from their own capacity. So this is not just about even the financial regulations, it's about how overregulation can affect you as even a person. Let's take ourselves in various institutions where we work. In our own capacities, there are some things that you feel that you can actually do, which may help the organization, but the company policy strictly may not allow you to even exhibit that. So yes, 100% overregulation can actually affect the innovational attitude of those financial institutions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome. Okay. Any other? Now I
Uh,
need to hear a voice from a lady.
Hello.
Do we have ladies
Hello.
here? Yes, I Gilbert.
Yes, please, Prof. Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Thank you so much. Regarding the rationale for financial policy and regulations, you touch on
Mm-hmm.
the prevention of fraud and financial crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to know, when you take Ghana for instance, these guys who are into this money laundering have now become so sophisticated that they are springing up with this real estate development.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to watch these funds in the form of, let's say, renting. And
Mm-hmm.
you could go to an estate and see that maybe there are about 200 or 300 houses which are there unoccupied. But when you ask of the rent, they can tell you, let's say, a two-bedroom is going for, let's say, 20 to 32,000 a month. And these people can get a lot of people share the money among them. Then they wire through their, let's say, accounts. Then they get this rent agreement. Then they charge the funds through the accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
how would this policy be able to tame this conduct, which is being, let's say, widespread now?
Okay. So this is what I can say. Before you deal with companies or people that suspectedly, that they are into money laundering, washing their monies, investing in either real estate and all those things, the first thing you need to do, number one, is to know your customer. You need to be able to verify your customer's identity, which sometimes makes it very hard for you to be able to deal with them. You know who you are dealing with, then that can actually help in reducing those money laundering activities. You also need to do a lot of transaction monitoring, a lot of transaction monitoring. Now, just as we said, a lot of the people who want to wash out money, when I say wash out money, that I mean money laundering, they invest a lot in the take Hello.
Prof.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello,
we are
Prof.
here.
Yeah,
Yes,
I went off, right?
Yes, you went off.
Oh, so sorry. Where was I before I went off? So I continue from there.
Money laundering.
Okay. So now, Gilbert, please summarize your question again so that I take it all through together again.
Okay, Prof. I was saying most of the guys today are engaged in this real estate development,
Mm-hmm.
and because they want to wash the money,
Mm-hmm.
so like there's a widespread. They have a cartel. Let's say a joint crime enterprise. They have, let's say, enacted, so they
Mm-hmm.
can distribute money among them. Then
Mm-hmm.
let's say he have an apartment, and three people are renting from that apartment with so
Mm-hmm.
huge amounts that they are paying monthly as, let's say, rent.
Mm-hmm.
These people will not channel the funds through their accounts
Mm-hmm.
and do it into, let's say, the laundry's account that they are paying for this rent, which in actual fact, it will not be true, but they have gone through and formalized it.
Of course, because that is how much they are renting it, so you cannot argue.
That is it. They have
Uh-huh.
formalized it. There is a rental agreement to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And the supposed, let's say, tenants are paying for it, which in actual fact is not so. But they have
Mm.
that extra mile to make sure that they have formalized everything. So I was
Sure.
asking, this one be tamed or, let's say, nipped to the bud?
Okay. So just as I was saying, the only thing that possibly the regulators can do, just as I was saying, is to know the people. I would say know your customer, know who they are, know how they operate, know their operations. Because money laundering reporting most of the times comes with suspicion. You cannot just look at somebody's face and you say that this guy is washing dirty money somewhere. It comes through suspicion. Once it comes through suspicion, investigation can go on. And once investigation goes on, even if they formalize it, we are all in Ghana, so we know for sure an average rent, how much, regardless of how beautiful or how huge that building is. We can all detect how much that building or that rent should go for. So once they have a constant monitoring, you know who they are, you monitor their transaction, you make sure that the laws are really enforced, and you make sure you do proper investigation. You check the reporting requirements of their financial transactions, and also you look at whether internationally they are doing business internationally or they are doing something so that you can get the international cooperation as well. If you're able to go through that, you'll be able to get the details of what they are doing. So it mostly depends on the regulators, it depends on those that are monitoring, and it depends on our monitoring system. Because to be able to get these people, you need a lot of international coordination. You need to get the source of their income, and you cannot just sit in Ghana and determine their source of income. You need to go beyond. And that is why money laundering can best be seen when you coordinate properly with the international bodies. As typical example is where their source of income is coming from, and where the chunk of money that they are spending or they are holding is coming from. When you do that, you'll be able to check them, monitor them, and get it through so that you can curb all the situations around it. You can add more if you have. Gilbert,
Yes, please.
yeah, if you have more other than what I have said, you can add more.
Oh, no, thank you. I'm okay.
Okay, all right,
Sir,
great. Yes, ma'am.
this is Sandra. I want to add that for fraud and financial crimes, it's like most of the times regulations and rules may not be proactive in creating certain rules. Sometimes they have to
Mm-hmm.
be reactors because you need to see how they are duping the system before you can in place certain
Sure.
regulations to be able to curb those things. So as for fraud and financial crimes, it would be hard to say that you are curbing everything at once. Sometimes we have to see what goes on. They have to be reported so that you'll be able to know the channels in which they are using to do those things before you can create certain regulations among it.
Sure.
Like the way Momo fraud has been going on, say still hasn't been any solution to it, the MTN fraud and all those things. It's been going on for some time, but nothing has been done about it. So there
Exactly.
must be something to go on, like people to be able to see what channels they are using. You look for one solution, then they are also, because those people are very smart. When you curb
Very.
one solution, they are looking for another way of duping the system. So it's like that.
All right. Thank you so much, Sandra, for adding up to what I already said. Thank you. Any more additions, subtraction, questions?
I want
So we
to
move.
ask a question in relation to the fraud prevention and financial crimes.
Go ahead, sir.
I was going to open an account with one of the banks in Ghana. Then they told me that per my position, they classified the customer. So they said I'm a high risk customer. So it took them almost a month before they were able to open an account for me. This is just a salary account. My question is, if just a salary account are provided where I work and all those stuff to them, and it took them almost a month before they were able to open salary account for me, which means that when I receive money into that account in excess of what they know of me, it might raise some kind of red flag to them. So how are these fraudsters able to deposit a lot of money into their account without them being detected easily until something must happen before they get to know all that?
Because some of them work with some of the workers there. It's like sometimes it's like a gang. You don't know how they work. It's not
teamwork.
just a teamwork. It's not just an individual thing. It's a teamwork. And I'm trying to find out what was the reason they gave you for saying that you were a high risk person for them to take 1 month before they open the accounts for you. Because they might have given you a reason. Because I don't even get it.
That's why I just mentioned that they said your position, the position you occupy, that's how they classify their customers. So it took them over a month, almost a month before they were able to go that account for me.
Okay. So there are issues.
Prof.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Prof.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I think most of these fraudsters are working within the department or the organizations. Because yes, sometimes you wonder how they have access to your phone numbers. Yes. And for example, when you are using this MTN Momo, I think it's Momo how you call it. So immediately you do a transaction, whether you put money or you cash out, they start calling you, telling you that I've mistakenly deposited money to your account. Can you please return it back? I think I've faced it 2 times, if I don't forget.
That is in what? Please go ahead.
Doc, your line is breaking.
Okay, can I be heard now?
Yes, sir.
I can be heard now. Okay. So what fraudsters normally do in order to get this account open or in order to get into the bank's system with their money laundering activities, they normally use compromised accounts. Sometimes they hack into dormant accounts. Some banks have some account that has been dormant for some time, and these fraudsters are able to hack into those accounts and use it for their activities. Then they also sometimes create what we call shell companies, fake companies. They create fake companies, they create a very nice website. You could check, Google them and see that oh, they've been in existence for years, but it is all fake just for window dressing. So they use what they call the shell companies account as well. Now they also use, as you mentioned, complicit bank staff. So there are some bank staff that they also use them. That is the insiders. You have insiders that also gives them information and also support their activities as well. If you also have the weak know your customer processes, they also, because some banks, just as you ask, it took you a month, Sam, you said it took you a month before they were able to open just a normal salary account for you because they saw you as a high risk customer or something. Yes, they were doing their due diligence. Some banks are very particular with due diligences by knowing who you are before they open an account for you. If they just open an account for any other person at all, that could create avenues for these money launderers to have the activities being done. But most importantly, we have people within the bank, the insiders. They give insider information. They can even give account details. They can give them all the redundant bank account that has been there for a number of years so they could use in their operation. So these are some of the things that normally happens before the lenders can actually conform to their activities. Okay, any more to add? Any more to add? Hello, Sam.
Yeah, Doc, good evening.
Hello, sir. I'm okay, sir. Thank you.
Doc, good evening.
All right. Good evening, sir. Ima, do you have a question or contribution? Hello, Ima. Okay. Is it my network or Ima's network?
Doc,
I
good
believe
evening.
I can be
Yeah.
heard. Yes, Ima.
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel.
Okay.
Yeah. Doc, can you explain further about the reduced systematic? It's a question. Are you hearing me, Doc? Hello?
I am hearing
Doc,
you.
Doc,
I
can you hear
am
me now?
hearing you. Yes. Please, Ima, can you hear us?
Doc, I think he wants you to explain further with the reduced systemic risk.
Oh, okay. Who can help him with that? Someone should help with the explanation on it for him. Mm-hmm. Okay. So financial regulation helps in reducing systematic risks through many ways. So institutions at times can do a lot of risk management assessments. Is my internet still breaking or I can be heard?
Yeah, you can be heard.
I can be okay. So I'm saying that the institution most at times can reduce their systemic risk through risk management. When you are able to manage your risks properly, know the issues that can actually affect you, how you can mitigate it, and how you can identify even those risks, naturally will help reduce the systemic risk. And this can be done through the financial regulation. Once you have the financial regulation, it helps you to come up with a proper risk management. In fact, some institutions even set up risk management departments, where theirs is to make sure that all activities that are related are properly managed, assessed, and they give their opinion before the institution can even venture into such an investment. If you are going for loan, they can give it to the risk management department to assess whether you'll be able to pay it or not. So this is how the financial regulation helps in reducing systemic risk. There are also issues with what? Capital requirement. Banks hold enough capital to absorb losses, where they can use it to protect depositors and in maintaining what? Stability. These are all ways of reducing systemic risk. Any more to add? Ima, did you hear what I said?
Yes, Doc. Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Prof, thank
And
you.
are you okay now?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic.
Prof.
All right. So, any more question contributions so we move on? All right. Thank you. I'm enjoying this class already. And I'll be happy coming every day to come and teach. In fact, we can teach from Monday to Friday if we are okay with that. Papa
Eh?
Sam.
This one, yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the theories of financial regulation. We have the public interest theory, we have the private interest theory, we have the regulatory capture theory, we have the market failure theory, and we have the institutional theory. So let's look at each of them in brief. Now, when you pick the public interest theory, we're saying that regulations do exist to protect society and correct market failures. So once we have a public interest, then it is up to the regulation that whatever regulation that is done, whatever theories that is being propounded within the regulations are existing to protect the society and correct market failures. Then we also have the government interventions which seeks to ensure fairness and stability. Example, we can look at the capital adequacy rules for the bank. So anybody or any citizen who is going to invest or deposit his money at a bank want that assurance that, hey, this bank is not going to collapse in the next few years, just as we've seen in the years past where people have lost a lot of money. I don't want to mention any of the defunct banks, but I know a friend who, out of shock, got stroke and he's still in a room because he lost millions of Ghana cedis through one of the defunct banks. So the public interest theory exists where public want to have knowledge of whatever is happening there. The regulations that governs the bank, is it strong enough for somebody, for a normal citizen to say that with my chest up, I am going to invest in this bank, I am going to invest in this financial market, I'm going to buy this portfolio, so that he will get that kind of confidence that in any way the regulations that are there can support me, can cover me, even when the bank ceases to exist for the next few years. So this is where the public interest theory comes in. So regulations do exist to protect the society and correct market failures, where people are looking at how government can also respond fast on issues that got to do with any of the financial institution. If this happens, what is the government reaction to the situation at hand? So this is where the public interest theory comes from. Then we look at the private interest and the regulatory capture theories. So private interest argues that regulations may specific or may benefit specific interest group. They are saying that regulations may benefit specific interest group. Regulatory capture occurs when regulators become influenced by industries they regulate, and this can lead to weak enforcement and corruption. The private interest theory is of the opinion, and it argues that regulation be as solid as it may be there just to benefit specific interest group, not all groups. So they went on to say that regulatory capture can even occur when regulators become influenced by the industries they regulate. And in Ghana, we see this all the time. Most of the times we are influenced by what is happening. And by the time you realize regulators themselves are being coerced by the industry, and they may end up even subjecting their own laws and regulations into scrutiny when issues happen, just so that it conforms to the industry that they are in. And when that happens, we say that it leads to what? Weak enforcement as well as corruption. So that is on the private interest and regulatory capture theories. Then we pick the market failure theory. So the market failure theory says that financial markets may fail due to information asymmetry, monopolies, or externalities. It may fail due to information asymmetry. What is information asymmetry? Yes, who can help? Yes, when you say information asymmetry, what is information asymmetry? So let's say that myself and Papa Sam, we have invested in one bank. Or let's say, and it happens that Papa Sam has more than me. So if Papa Sam has more information than me, it means that Papa Sam stands advantage, and he will be privy to certain things than me. So I stand to mostly lose because Papa Sam has information advantage than me. So we're saying that information asymmetry normally happens when a party in transaction has more or better information than the other party, and that is information asymmetry. So we think that financial market may fail with the market failure theory. Financial market may fail due to one party more information when others are enjoying monopoly in the market, and where others are having more external connections and external influence than others, or when external influence more in the market in which we are operating. So regulation corrects these failures. Once there is regulation, these failures will have to be what? Corrected. And I gave an example, and I said example include this requirement and non. So anytime there are full disclosures, it means that both parties will understand the kind of transaction they are doing, rather than one party understanding it and the other is not understanding. One has more information than that when one company enjoys more monopoly. And remember, when monopoly comes in, they determine the prices alone. Because without him, in fact, if you don't use product, you are not getting any other product. So when there are monopolies, when there are also external influence within the market, and that's where market theory talks about. Any questions so far on the theories being said? The last one is institutional theory. So what is institutional theory? With the first four being said, what is institutional theory? You can tell me institutional theory talks about. Yes, Papa Sam. What is institutional theory? What do institutional theory say? Hello, Papa Sam.
Hey, bro,
Yes.
I'm here.
What do you think institutional theory will talk about under the
So
theory of financial regulation?
they also talk about maybe the rules, the norms that will shape the organization or that will shape the institution.
Okay. So it talks about the rules and the norms that will actually shape the institution in a whole. Okay. So now let's look at, yeah, Sandra. Sorry, I didn't see your hand early.
Oh, I wanted to answer the question, but I think Papa Sam.
Oh, okay. Please, you can
Yeah.
add on.
Okay, so I was
I
going to
love a
say
lot
that
of meat and fish, so add more.
I was going to say that it mainly borders on organizations, individual organizations adopting certain practices and policies that will help them do well in the market. So that was what I.
All right. Thank you so much for adding up. Do we have others who can also add up? Ernest, you haven't spoken today. Ernest Akun.
Yeah, hello, Prof.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ernest, say something before you die. You are not dying, so say something before we go.
So, Prof, I would say they are the laws and rules and standard an organization actually engaging. So some can be the financial institutions, some can be the insurance institutions. So those regulations
Okay.
that govern them are the ones.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. You had
You're
all
welcome.
these fantastic ideas and you didn't want to say it. Okay. Thank you. There are some people I haven't called today. Let me look for them. Where are they? We are 40 here. Let me look for the only lady who has spoken today is Sandra. Yes, Deborah. Deborah Mapukia. Deborah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I want to hear your voice. Summarize the theories that we've talked about so far. Pick any of them. You just pick any of them and explain with your own language for me.
Sir, let me take the last one. The
Okay.
institutional theory.
Yes, ma'am.
It defines the code of conduct of the institution,
Okay.
the do and the don'ts
Okay.
of the institution.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome,
Gloria
sir.
Ajati. Gloria Ajati.
Yes, sir.
Is that the name?
Ajati.
Ajati. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Gloria Ajati.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please pick any of the theories I mentioned and explain for me.
Okay, sir. So I'll pick the public interest theory.
Okay.
We explain that organization behaving in a way or the rules and regulation that governs an organization, making them behave in a way that will protect the public interest.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So now I can move on. At least I've got two additional ladies to talk. The men are happy. I know Papa Sam, when he hears the voice of a lady, it gives him some kind of sound mind. Papa Sam, boy. Uh-huh. Okay. So once Papa Sam is happy, at least we can continue. So let's look at the evolution of financial regulation globally. How financial regulations evolved around the
Hello, Prof.
world. Hello,
Hello, Prof.
Mr. Seb.
I have a
Yes, sir.
small question here.
Okay, no question
Um,
is small. Go ahead.
I saw Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation. Between them and the
Mhm.
Bank of Ghana, who really is in charge of ensuring that the deposits of customers are well protected and that we are safe?
Between what?
The Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation. I have seen
Uh-huh.
yeah, certificates from them pasted on the walls of some banks. And so I wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
between them and the Bank of Ghana, I mean, who really is in charge of ensuring that our deposits are safe? Do they work together? Do they work under the Bank of Ghana? I don't know if you could educate me on that a little.
Oh, okay. Well, Bank of Ghana is actually in charge of deposits, but Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation is in charge of managing the deposit protection scheme. They are in charge, they are just in charge of the management of the deposit protection scheme. That is their. And Bank of Ghana is actually responsible for the regulation. So GDPC, as you know, they are not in charge of regulation. They are just in charge of what? Managing the scheme that has been regulated or that has been brought forth by Bank of Ghana. So it is their responsibility in managing it. Why Bank of Ghana is the custodian of the regulation.
Oh, okay.
Is that clear?
Thank you. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. I'm sure today is the first time a lot of people are hearing the Ghana Deposit Protection Corporation. I'm sure they don't even know there's something like this that is existing. So thank you so much for bringing this. And I'm sure somebody like Deborah Mopukia has learned something today. Debbie, were you aware that there's this corporation that exists?
No, sir.
Thank you. I said it. When I saw your name, no, I knew that you've never heard of that before. And that is just by the way. So, Osebatin, thank you so much for bringing this up for clarity. Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. So can I please move on? Move on. So we're looking at the evolution of financial regulation globally. So there has been a great depression and banking reforms. In fact, all over the world, not Ghana alone. All over the world, there's been a great banking depression and great evolution within the banking sector. Who can give me a classic example? Uh-huh. Who can give me an example? Those who are in the banking sector. Can somebody help me? Mm-hmm. Those in the banking sector, can you give me one example? There are old issues that you can give me as a case study, specifically in the US. Hey, how many of us work in a bank? Please, oh, how many of us works within the financial sector? Oh, feel free and mention your name. I may come and see you. We talk business. Please, may I see those by hand? Those who work within the banking industry. Can I see by hand, please? With all due respect, can I see by hand those who works within the banking industry?
Doc, they have not closed yet, though. They are still at the bank working.
Oh, what a shock. Okay, thank you. All right, so well understood. I see a message. Okay, Kingsford, thank you. Kingsford Abaka. Kingsford.
Sir,
Okay.
Prof,
Please, can you give me one case or one scenario or one example of one of the banking reforms globally?
the boss, when they said they want to increase the deposit rate for the bank,
Sorry?
the deposit,
Okay, so I
the
need
moment,
one reform that happened, I mean, during the Great Depression. I think those of us who have heard, I don't know if you've heard this before, the Basel Accord. Have you heard that before? It's even here. This one, the Basel Accord. That was in 1988 or so. So when there were Great Depression where there were a lot of banking reforms, they decided to set as minimum capital adequacy standard global. If you want to operate as a bank, then they set a minimum capital adequacy for you. It means that you need to have that level of capital to be able to. And in fact, Bank of Ghana is still using the Basel Accord in their operation. To set up as a bank, you need to provide a certain minimum capital adequacy that we know that this is what you're operating, so that in case of anything, we will know that you'll be able to pay off your customers. So those were the things that happened. It's in Canada, it even happened there somewhere in 1938 or so, where they need to set the Bank of Canada to take care of all the depressions that the other individual banks were going in, and so on and so forth. So there has been some level of what regime and reforms that has happened globally due to the depression that happens within those times. Even in Ghana here, we experienced it during His Excellency Nana Ado's era, where we
Yes.
have some banks being consolidated. We consolidated. How many banks did we consolidate?
5,
Who can help me? Yes, King.
Capital Bank.
Unibank, Unibank,
So,
Unibank.
okay, there were how many
Quantum,
banks? I need the number of banks that were consolidated into CBG.
5.
5,
Five. Okay.
Construction Bank,
Mhm.
Unibank,
Base capital.
Beach
Bay.
Capital. Mhm.
Capital Bank.
Okay. So it has even happened in Ghana, and we've had some
Wow.
few reforms here and there. Then we have the creation of central banks and deposit insurance. So we have Bank of Ghana, some of the reforms brought about every country creating a bank of that country, where that bank will be the bank that will operate. Also, they don't deal with the normal operation. They help in the regulations of other banks. So that, like Bank of America, but in America, Bank of America is operating as a normal bank with deposits as well as they have the federal bank that takes care of all the other banks, just as we have the Bank of Ghana as well. Then the Basel Accord and international banking standards also came in, where a minimum capital adequacy or minimum capital was introduced. Then we had the global financial crisis somewhere in 2008, where we had some great reforms with that global. Who can tell me, can you tell me the global financial crisis in 2008? Mm-hmm. Yes, Kingsford.
Repeat the question again.
I said, can you tell me about the global financial crisis reforms in 2008? Mm-hmm. That was the time they also introduced what they call the Basel III. Please read, though. I beg you. You people read. In fact, anything you even see on the floor, once it talks about finance, read. That is I learn. Unless I don't chance on anything finance, whether it makes sense or not, that's the only way you get global information, especially with regards to finance. Those that read magazines instead of daily graphic, please, from today, stop. There was this paper in Ghana. Is it PP something something? There was some
PMP,
paper in Ghana that they were sorry,
PMP, PMP.
PM. Thank you. I know Papa Sam. Then you used to read PMP, pa. You used to read PMP. So I'm not talking about just going to get PMP to read. I don't need entertainment. Please, at least in your everyday life, if you don't have any paper at all, not daily graphic, because in page you definitely see something finance to read, and that is how we learn. So in 2008 global financial crisis, a lot of things happened, and the reforms that came in, we got Basel III, we got the Dodd-Frank Act, that is in US 2010 thereabout. We got
Yeah,
the
for the
consumer protection with
financial
regards to,
protection.
yes, finance and so on and so forth. So please, you need to read all this. When I ask questions like this, you need to bring it by heart, and that is how we
Okay.
learn. Kindly reading. Thank you. Then we also talked about the growth of fintech and digital financial regulation. Recently, as part of the financial evolutions, fintech is becoming more and more and more recently. Cryptocurrencies. Now we have the crypto regulation. Uh, Recently, Bank of Ghana was adopting the policy on the fintech. I don't know if they are done. Kingsford, you will be able to tell me. The fintech policy that they were working on, is it done and accepted? Has it been passed? Kingsford, are you there? Hello, Kingsford.
Sir.
Yes, I was asking a question.
Okay, sir, please the question again. My network is disturbing, that's why.
Okay, I was asking if the Bank of Ghana, the FinTech policy and the FinTech Act that they were working on, has it been passed now?
They are still on it.
They are still on it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Let's box on. We also have the colonial banking regulations. We have the establishment of Bank of Ghana as part of the evolution within the 1957. We have the financial sector adjustment program, that is the FinSAP. We have the banking sector cleanup, that is in 2017 to 2019, which we just talked about. We have the emergence of fintech and digital payments, and so on and so forth. So these have been some of the evolutions of the financial regulations in Ghana, which some are global, but it affects us as a Ghanaian banking sector as well. So whatever happens all over the world also have effect on our sector as well. When there was financial crisis, we also got hit in the same period in 2008, and we had our own banking sector cleanup. So please, the banking reforms that I sent, kindly read them into details. There's about 88 pages. You'll get all these details there. So that is in support of what I'm lecturing now. So those are for your readings. So I've given you a lot of details for you to read because I don't like loading my slides. So I prefer giving a backup for you to get more details. Why I keep my normal teaching slides very simple because I talk a lot. That is how it is. Okay. Let's look at the structure of Ghana's financial system as it is now. So we have the banking sector. We all know what the banking sector does. We have the capital market. And when you go to the capital market, we have the primary and the secondary market. We will dive more into this market where we can talk about hedging and so on and so forth over there as well. Then we have the insurance sector. We have the insurance sector. We have the pension sector. I have separated the microfinance from the banking sector because now they are also on their own. I would have added the rural bank separately, but now they have merged the microfinance and the rural bank together. So I'm just talking about the microfinance institutions, which now includes the rural banks as well. Then we have the fintech and the mobile money ecosystem. Okay. Let's look at some of the key financial regulators in Ghana. This we all know. Number one, Bank of Ghana, BOG. They regulate the banking sector. Then we have the SEC, that is the Security and Exchange Commission. They regulate all the securities and the stock exchange market as well. So that is the SEC that does the stock exchange market regulations. Then we have the NIC, that is the National Insurance Commission. They regulate the pension schemes. They regulate the insurance companies. So that is the Insurance Commission. Then we have the National Pension Regulatory Authority, the NPRA. They regulate the pension schemes as well. So these are the regulators of our financial institutions in Ghana. So this is specifically in Ghana. We have the BOG, we have the SEC, we have the National Insurance Commission, and we have the National Pension Regulatory Authority. Let's look at the challenges in our financial regulations in Ghana. This we are going to discuss. Let's look at the challenges. One of the challenges that I have seen, which you can challenge me, is weak enforcement mechanism. You know, Ghana, we love to make laws, but enforcement is zero. You have people sitting there monitoring doing everything. You go, they'll be sleeping behind the machine. They'll be sleeping, drinking tea on the job. And our enforcement is very weak. And that is one of the challenges we have in our financial regulation. Then two, I said financial fraud and cyber crime. Who can agree with me on this and explain? Why do you think financial fraud and cyber crime is a big issue? Sandra, it's a challenge in our financial regulation. Sandra,
Yes, sir.
okay. Why do you
Because
think okay, go ahead.
there are a lot of loopholes in our system, like
Mhm.
a lot of loopholes in our securities. Like we don't, I also feel like we don't employ people who have the technical know-how to be able to see some of these things and then attack them head on. So because of that, it's like we wait until it become a big issue that the public is crying so much about before you see certain actions being done. And as I said earlier, like Momo, for instance, MTN Momo thing has become so much of an issue. Is that we complain and nothing is being done about it. It's like we don't see anything that has been done to make sure that yeah, we are charging MTN to spend more money on their security so that it will be safe enough for people to use their platform. Right now, the moment somebody drops money into your account or you receive a Momo alert, it's like there's a likelihood that you're going to get a call from someone saying that, oh, I've done a wrong transaction. Can you redo the money and stuff like that? It's like they don't do anything to strengthen their security, like their IT platform, so that it becomes a robustic platform that people will not easily get access to customers' data and stuff like that, because it's appalling that somebody will know your number, somebody that you don't know will call you and say that I've done this transaction. Where are they getting the numbers from? How did they even know that you've gotten an alert? And then they try to take money from you. So I think that is the loopholes are too many and there's nobody regulating, because I believe that NCA or I don't know, they should be able to do something, charge MTN, like punish them so that they will sit up and do something about it. But they are not doing anything. You just cry online and nobody listens. You cry online, nobody listens. And nothing has been done about it. So I think that is why the financial fraud keeps on increasing like that.
Okay, thank you so much. Then the next bigger issue, which is a
Hello, Prof.
bigger challenge in Ghana.
Prof.
Ima,
Prof.
yes. Yes, sir.
Prof. Yeah, I'd like to differ from Sandra's submission a
Okay,
little
go
bit,
ahead.
because when it comes to financial fraud, when it comes to financial fraud, and as Sandra's submission is saying, is that people, those who are into fraud, they are step ahead. They always step ahead of the regulators. And more also, people are put in places are easily compromised. So and it's becoming sophisticated. As the way we see it, it's not as simple as she's saying. They are very sophisticated and they are far ahead of our agencies or those who are put in place. So it's like before you catch up with them, they are far gone. So it's very difficult.
But
Not that
Ima,
they are
don't you
loopholes,
also
just that they
agree
are
that
really much.
don't you agree that like with the
Yeah, I'm
MTN, for
listening.
instance, the public outcry has been done not just in a year, like years. And we
Yes.
have not seen any
Sandra,
proactive like from the because so how long should Ghanaians wait? 5 years, 10 years
I can
before they
tell you,
catch up, because they are
watch.
also learning, as they are saying. So what are they
Mhm.
doing? At least they should be able to do something. Okay, then we know that okay, we
I,
did this, and then they have upgraded. Right now they are still at A. The Momo fraudsters are still at A because nothing has been done about it.
I, I
Okay.
I can assure that they are doing
Yeah.
more than you think that they are doing. Yeah, I can assure you that they
They
can
are
do,
not
just that they can't catch
because
up
to
with
me
them.
they are not
Check the
doing
way they
enough.
started. You will then yeah, that's how you see. That's how you see it. But I can tell you that just that the people are far, that step ahead of them. That's all. You see that this is the way they are using now. They always bringing new stuff and new strategy.
But
So
you
they catch
see,
up with them.
have you used the
It'll be difficult.
the telecell caching? Their system is a little bit different from like MTN, okay?
Yes.
Because I've been with telecell before, so I know what I'm talking about. So the telecell cache, they invested so much money on their securities, which is the IT securities, okay, to make their system so robust that it will be difficult to do certain things on their platform, okay, compared to MTN. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about, yes.
Okay.
So they did something different because they invested a lot of money in building their system in such a way that, yes, it's not like you cannot prevent process from coming on your platform, but at least you have put certain preventive measures in place that it will be difficult. They will do, but it will be difficult. Whereas MTN, it is not like that. You can ask anybody who is an IT personnel, okay, check the system of MTN and check that of Telecel Cash. They'll be able to tell you the difference. That is what I'm saying. Because nobody is pushing MTN so much to invest in their security. That's what I'm talking about. Not just because it's been like happening so much that certain things must happen. You even go when you have been frauded and you go to MTN, like even if you yourself do a wrong transaction and you call them immediately, like the things that they will say, oh, some of them will tell you that pay, if you are able to refund your money, you must give us half of that money before we'll be able to even reverse the transaction. That I did wrongly. We didn't. You see what I'm talking about? These are some of the things that can be done.
That's why I said that people. That's what I said that people put in places or put in charge are easily compromised. You see, that's the main challenge of MTN. Part of this, I mean, they give information out to those fraudsters. So that's the challenge.
Oh, okay, I want to say something. Sandra, what you are saying may be true though, but for the fact that MTN has much customers as compared to Telecel, so people are not really targeting Telecel because they don't have that much customers, so their territory in the market is a little bit small as compared to MTN. So the firsters want to get customers who are on the MTN because they have much more customers and they're able to get them easily as compared to Vodafone. Not necessarily that MTN is not doing much better in terms of their IT or security system. Where I work, I also deal with MTN most of the times. When a customer do a wrong transaction, you call MTN, they're able to block the transaction and reverse it back to the bank. So I really don't stand with you on what you are saying.
Okay, can I come in? Per what you just elaborated on, if you are talking about, let's say, market share, in terms of MTN market share in Ghana, that cannot also be the case because comparing MTN Ghana and MTN Nigeria, Lagos State alone have a population more than the entire Ghana state. Yes, still the fraudulent activities perpetrated in Ghana with, let's say, MTN customers is not the same way as is done in Nigeria. So what Sandra was saying is that MTN has failed to overhaul their security, and that is a fact. Comparing, let's say, the security of MTN and that of Telecel, we will say it's a mismatch because I have never heard any Telecel subscriber who is doing Telecel cash coming to complain that he or she is being, let's say, harassed by fraudsters. But MTN started this Momo more than a decade ago. And every day, people are complaining that they are being harassed by these cyber criminals and nothing is being done. So what I would say is that the regulators are in bed with, let's say, these so-called sophisticated network, let's say, enterprises like MTN. So because of that, they are not being penalized. And they, at the end of the day, they go scot-free. That is why Ghanaians are still facing this problem. So we shouldn't say it's because of they having a larger market share in Ghana. For that matter, they are not able to regulate. You having a larger market share means that you have a lot of net worth, and that should enable you to beef up your cyber security by investing in more sophisticated firewalls to prevent, let's say, third parties from phishing into your system. That should be the case. Thank you.
And Gilbert, let me also
But
add that
Gilbert,
you'll be
I don't.
surprised. Wait, you'll be surprised that there's a budget and people have proposed solutions, and I'm telling you that it's going to cost them a lot of money, and they are not willing to invest such huge amounts of money into those things. You'll be surprised that somebody has proposed, the expert, they have proposed, okay, we can do A, B, C, D. But let's say the money involved in putting such structures in place will cost them so much money, they are not willing to do that. They might go for a lower or like another solution, which might not be as robust as they would have wanted. But because of money, they will not do it. And the complaints are many. I'm telling you, if it was any other country, that regulators are very strict on these things, MTN would have done something about it. They haven't done anything. Whatever they have done is not really solving any issue. It doesn't matter how, because some of the fraudsters, some of them can't even speak proper English and they still be able to do people. How are they doing that? So don't tell me that they have upgraded. Yes, some of them are really smart, but the ones that do the calls and stuff like that, nah, they are not doing much. And I'm sure that the regulators are not being on their neck so much. If they are, they would have done something about.
Okay. Are we done explaining each other? Can I move on now? Thank you. I mean, I love this. So I can allow you do more if you have more to talk about. All right. Now, the next thing that is also a bigger issue for me as a challenge in our financial sector. Yes, Sam.
Hello, sir. Regarding the financial fraud and cybercrime, I want to ask a question. In
Go ahead.
last year, April 2025, Bank of Ghana has directed commercial banks to strengthen their internal control system. And that direction came as a result of the increase in the fraud among the banking staffs. So my question is, how do you think that call, if the banks are to hit to that particular call, would have influenced the financial fraud we experience in the banking sector that involve the staff themselves? The latest one is the Access Bank case that we have witnessed recently.
Sam, are you listening to the question?
Guys, sorry, I was distracted. Yes, I didn't hear you. Was it Sam?
Yes, please, it's me.
Okay, please, can you repeat the question again?
So please go ahead.
Okay, my question was that Bank of Ghana last year directed commercial banks to strengthen their internal control systems. And that direction came as a result of the increase in fraud among in the banking sector that involves some of the staffs of the banks. And my question is, with that direction from the Bank of Ghana, how is that going to influence the fraud that is being undertaken by the staffs in those commercial banks?
So before Sana comes in, I want to ask you this question too. Don't we all agree that it probably borders on capacity? Because I listened to the Bank of Ghana governor about a month ago when he admitted that it took an Israeli friend who came over to tell him that the entire of the Bank of Ghana and the banking space in Ghana, they have not done real investment in cyber security protection. And so anybody gets access to their system and then they can do a whole lot. So it's not the case of we don't have the capacity, because cybersecurity really is a new thing relatively in Ghana. So is it not the question of capacity?
We don't lack capacity. This comment takes us to the next step, regulatory overlap. We have so many institutions doing almost the same thing. Hence, nobody do anything. If you go through the regulators that we just mentioned, I can tell you there are some works that when you go through Security and Exchange Commission, they should be doing it, but they will say that it is Bank of Ghana's work. So now nobody acts on it. NIC will also say that no, these are issues that Bank of Ghana should come in and regulate. So they also sit down. So the main issue, all this that you are saying, the actual issue got to do with regulatory overlap. We have it all, and hence nobody do anything because their mandate overlaps each other. And it's like when we are three Kofi sitting down and somebody call Kofi, everybody will turn, but nobody will get up. Reason is that we don't really know which Kofi they are calling. Hence, nobody goes at all. So your questions and the comments that are coming, I've been quite monitoring, and the explanation and the argument, I love them, perfect. But the major challenge that could answer this, if we are able to work on our regulatory overlap, I don't think we have an issue at all. We don't have an issue because the bigger challenge we have here is that we have multiple institutions overseeing different sectors that are virtually doing the same thing. Let me give you a typical example. Let me veer off a little bit. Monitoring of our petroleum tax. It needs a real-time system. Now, GRA say they have the system that monitors. MPA says they have the system that monitors. Yet, we are losing money. So the question is, who is doing what? Please, are we all following? So the major challenge got to do with a lot of regulators having their work being overlapped and nobody works at all at the end of the day, causing and bringing in a lot of financial fraud and cybercrime. Because when it comes to Ghana, the laws, I can tell you, we have it. We have them in abundance. But as to whether we will be able to work on it. So recently, Bank of Ghana sat down. I think the executive, when I say the executive, I mean the arms of government, the executive sat, and they realized that based on this issue, the regulatory overlap, a lot is happening that is not going well. So they are considering setting up what they call the Financial Service Board. I don't know those within the banking sector, if you have heard this before. They are setting up what they call the Financial Service Board, the FS, where this board will rather oversees all the regulators' work. And when it does happen, all these issues will not be an issue. And it may be, I'm choosing my words carefully, it may be the thing of the past if only their works will be monitored and they can do it well. I don't know if my comment has answered all the other comments that came in. Sandra, do you still want to add something?
No, sir.
So,
All right.
I
So
want to say that the political
Sorry, Ima.
I wanted, yes, yes, yes. What I
Mhm.
was trying to say is that it seems like the challenge we have now is political, not is politics in a way.
I am a common lecturer, so I'm choosing my words carefully. So
Okay,
these are
okay.
your words, not mine. You can build on it actually. I will listen, and we all listen.
Oh, I'm
So Ima,
okay.
go
I'm
ahead.
just. Oh no, I'm just saying. I'm just adding to what you said. That
Thank you very
it's
much.
so it
And
seems
that's why
like
I'm saying that those are your words, not mine. I don't want to say it.
yeah, accepted, accepted.
Okay. Now, next challenge is low financial literacy. Low financial literacy. Low financial literacy. We don't have, in fact, we have the regulations, but we don't have a lot of education on them. People want to invest, people want to venture into the financial market, but they don't really understand the issues, hence posing a bigger challenge in financial regulation. Because people misinterpret certain things, the understanding is different, and they end up locking themselves somewhere. At the end of the day, you realize that, oh, because he did not have the technical understanding and the technical know-how, that is why this is happening. So low financial literacy is also a very big challenge. Then we have the rapid growth of digital finance. This is a very big issue because we have people trading in a lot of digital finance, the fintech, the cryptocurrencies, the whatever, a lot of them. And that has become more. People's attention are going there more. And the regulations there are also limited because it is an emerging market which doesn't have more stronger regulations and policies there. Hence, people have bigger issues venturing into digital financing. Now, we want to conclude for today. We conclude by saying that financial regulation is essential for stability, economic growth. It is effective regulation, or its effective regulation will promote trust and confidence in the financial system. And Ghana continues to reform its regulatory framework to address emerging risks and innovations. So, in summary, that was about our first lesson, our first model that brings out the introduction to financial regulation and policy. Now, let me see if I have some baseline questions for you. So, let's discuss this. Why is financial regulation important in developing economies? Go and build on this. I will ask people to project their answers tomorrow just for 20 minutes before we start. What lessons can Ghana learn from global financial crisis, and how should regulators respond to fintech innovation? These are questions I want you to go and ponder over it. We will discuss this. Please, everybody should go and answer this. I will need it to be submitted to me in my email. In fact, you submit to Papa Sam will forward them to me. Then through the responses that I have gotten, I will mention one or two people to project their responses or their answers. Then we all discuss it. Thank you so much. Any questions so far? So now questions. Any questions? Okay. So because today is our first time meeting, we've met for almost 2 hours. We will end our lecture for today. I'm sure people are now going home. so that we can leave our various office to the house. Then we will meet same time, God willing, tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. All right. So feedbacks are very important to me. So if you have any feedbacks from what we've done today, you can talk to Papa Sam. Papa Sam will transmit it to me gently. Then we will pick it up from there. Joyce, do I have Joyce here? Papa Sam, there was somebody
Yes,
from
sir.
your. Okay. Thank you. You are the one who used to call me, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you so much for calling and checking in to see if our lectures are coming on. So please, if you have any feedback on how today's lecture went, kindly give it to Papa Sam. If there are more you want me to do, if you want me to maintain the status quo, if you want us to do any other thing, please, feedbacks are very important. It helps us to improve and understand. You just get it to me. I will do as you say, so that when I'm asking you questions at the end of the semester, I can also feel free and ask you questions, knowing that you will pass for me. So have a blessed evening. Thank you for availing yourself today. Until we meet same time tomorrow. Have a good night.
Thank you, dog. God bless you. We are grateful.
Thank you,
Most
sir.
welcome. All right. Bye.
Bye bye.